Hello again, everyone. This is Joe Henches with Beyond the Chart, and this is technical analysis of the stock market today. Today is Monday, April 27th. We're going to take a look at the market action today, and then we're going to take a look at three stocks, 3D Systems, Stratasys, and United Airlines, which is one that we got trade idea get into today. Okay. The Dow was down 42 points after being up fairly. It opened up and then rallied quite a bit. The high today was 18,175 and we closed at 1838. So about 135 points or so off the high is where we closed today. So a little bit of a reversal here. Now this one was not what I call an engulfing reversal bar. But needless to say, it still is a reversal. And this little scenario of the way this is broken down through this trend line, get rid of that, hugging this trend line, pulling down, pulling back. Now, this did go slightly higher here, but it still looks kind of counter-trendish to me. We'll see. We didn't get it. I'd feel more strongly about that statement if we had closed below the 10. In here, we haven't done that here on the Dow. The S&P 500. The interesting thing, and I didn't mention this on Saturday, this compressed bar here, the range on Friday, very, very tight range. As I just went back and looked at the math, the high-low range in between all the small bars in here, and as far as I can tell, like right here is 10.4. The range here was 8.12. And the last time we had a bar that was smaller than that range was right here, right near the top, right here. And notice how then prior to that, I think we might have had one here, but the last time before that was all the way over here, right at the top. So, again, I had, the picture I had on the post on Saturday was, alert, red alert. Well, I had that because of the reading of where the CAPE ratio or the CAPE reading comes in, that price earnings ratio of Professor Schiller. Okay, well, that's not technical analysis. That's another way of looking at it from a market or a valuation standpoint, which, every once in a while, it's kind of nice to do that. I mean, you want to take a snapshot and take a look at some other perspective as to how some valuation's coming in. And I just find that whole analysis intriguing, especially since he's looked at the stock market since 1871. So, the readings we're getting, and then we get this little reading, this compressed bar right here. And now today we get this big reversal down bar here on the S&P 500. Now this is an engulfing reversal down bar. Now I would feel better about it if it was engulfing a bigger bar rather than this very, very small doji bar. But I think I will be looking to see if we are turning here because of the fact that it seems like these very compressed bars have a tendency to come at turns. Let's take a look. We got a little bit of divergence here on the RSI, and we definitely have got it, on the DI plus. That's not confirming this last little push right here. So again, don't want to make a whole lot about this because again, we're not getting closes down below the 10. We got one here, but it got no follow through. So we're not getting a breakdown yet, but I am on alert for that. And look how this acted today with the NASDAQ. Okay, big reversal bar down. Again, I did talk about this little doji bar and how it looks similar to this and how it looks similar to this. So, we still get this little wedge that we're coming into. If we come breaking down, and these markets can move down pretty fast. So we've talked about that before. Now here's the New York Composite doing the same type of thing, same type of action today. All the indices pretty much mirrored the same thing. Russell 2000. This one was even weaker, I think, than almost any of the other ones. So this is pretty dramatic. Did it close below here? We're at 1251.86. No, pretty close because 1252.70. So we're very, very close in here. All right, let's take a look at the short-term trading index. And it's turning down a little bit, got a little bullish, even though we were down, mainly probably because, well, it didn't get, I mean, it's still right in the middle here. It's neutral. But the reading was 0.95, mostly because I think we were up early and then turned around, headed down. The VIX rallied all day. Okay, so even though the market opened higher and rallied early on, the VIX opened slightly, about unchanged slightly, was never down and rallied all day and then closed above the 10. We're still getting the divergence. That divergence is holding so far. So we'll see how that plays out. I mean, that's a negative. Okay, I am missing some. Oh, I don't want to do. Let's see. I was missing the high-low index. Now we have it. So I just updated this. So we had 82 more new highs than new lows for the day. So it's pulled back down. Again, I've got this line in here of this non-confirmation. Now, the last indicator I'm going to look at, and why am I doing that? I got to go back over here to this window, go back to New York Composite, and let's take a look at the Mcclellan Oscillator. Let me make sure it's updated. Okay, so here's the Mcclellan Oscillator picture. So look at these peaks rolling, kind of rolling over a little bit. I mean, you can almost, just kind of looks like it's doing that. And now we got this close below the 10, below the 0 line, which we did before and then bounced back. So the other thing that's interesting is right here that you can see, kind of across there. Boy, that is terrible. Why is that not doing that? Oh, I know. Let me try this. If I'd learned how to use my marker, there we go. Look at that. Well, okay. All right. So, given that, it almost looks like a little bit of a head and shoulders pattern going on this indicator. We'll see whether or not it breaks down through. Okay, and I think that's it for the indicators tonight. Let's go ahead and dive into our stocks, which we're going to look at. Stratasys. I wanted to let me go to 3D systems because that's the one I've been following. Stratasys, not so much closely, but it's in the same 3D printing group of stocks. So let's take a look here at 3D systems. Now, this really got whacked on Friday. Okay, and then this follow through today, really negative down. So it's really, this stock rolled over very quickly. But you notice how we just got this close below the 10. It was slightly below the 10, then the second close, and that was it. That was all there was to it. Mainly because the long-term trend was down and the intermediate trend was still slightly down. The 21 was below the 55. Okay, so when I back off, you might hear my son's bulldog barking in the background. Hopefully not. Okay, so we back off here. You can see what we were looking at, thinking that we're going to bottom in here, and we may be starting to get, now I wouldn't trust this divergence just because it came down so quickly, and it's right here. Yeah, it's showing divergence right now, but I mean, this could continue down to the bottom of the channel very easily, very quickly. So it's kind of tough when you look at this from long term. I mean, I was looking at 5 waves up on 3D systems. Now look like we're pulling back. It's just a matter of how far back is this thing really going to go, and it could, the way this thing is acting, it could easily just proceed, keep on going right to the bottom of the channel. Let's see, the next one is, let's go to Stratasys. Stratasys is doing a similar type thing. It clearly rolled over. Here you can see that this trend line was broken, but you would have had an indication as it started getting the closes back below the 10, and especially, I mean, here's what, and I wasn't following this because I kind of have this in my high ATR category. I don't know if that's truly the case. Actually, the ATR has dropped down a little bit. Moving averages, the volume's still a little light. 1 million for 50-day moving average of volume. So it's getting a little light on Stratasys. So notice how 3D stocks, the enthusiasm and the excitement is gone, it seems like, and wonder why, because of this. Okay, so we look at Stratasys, you sit back and think, well, what's going on with this? When I looked at this from the long-term picture, this looks like, let's zoom over to the weekly, make it a little easier. This looks like a 5-wave move up here, right here. So an impulse wave, or a cycle wave 1, cycle wave 2 pullback, looks like cycle wave 3 with 5 waves up in here, and now we're doing this corrective wave. It shouldn't go if this is still in this impulse type situation, it shouldn't go below this peak in a 4th wave. Okay, so let me just put a line across that and so see where that is. It's right about there. Okay, and let's go back to a daily chart. And so really, if this Elliott wave pattern is going to hold, it's pretty much on it, then we're really talking about Stratasys should not go below 31. Now, that's still a long way below where it is right now. But we'll see. But again, these stocks just continue to break down. And I would have thought that this stock would have been bottoming in here just like 3D was trying. Now this one, let's take a look at the, we're getting a little bit more bullish divergence. We'll see whether this holds, whether this starts to turn up off of this. We start to see these stocks turn up off of these divergences, like with 3D systems, it starts to turn up off of where it's at. That could be a really strong sign that the bullish divergences is taking hold, and it's going to want to turn. But again, boy, you think it's rallying right in here, and then it breaks down so quickly. You just have to be willing to, you got to have your stops in, and if you want to play it, you got to be willing to jump in. And then the last one we'll take a look at tonight is UnitedContinental, and got in on this because I said yesterday in the Trade Ideas video that this was on my watch list because I was looking for this to go back down. I am looking for it to continue down. I still think this head and shoulders pattern's in play, and the target for the head and shoulders pattern is down here at 54. Now we'll see whether we get that. If we come down and break this trend line here, we're breaking this short-term little trend line already, and I'm still keeping that other little trend line, but we broke that today. So we'll see what kind of follow-through we get. But I like the fact that from a bearish standpoint that it's getting this kind of move today, closed below the low of the trading of the last 4 days and below the 10-day moving average, which I like to see in terms of follow-through to the downside. So we'll see whether we continue down here, and that's what we're looking for. So again, the details of that are on the Trade Ideas webpage. Just need to be a subscriber to first name and email, and you're good to go to subscribe to that. And by the way, just want to mention again the ongoing 3-video training series that I've got. We're well into it. The 2nd video is out, and the 3rd video will be coming out soon, but you need to jump in because this is not going to be out there forever. It's going to probably be towards the end of this week. And then I am going to have a special invitation type thing I'm going to be putting out. So we'll talk about that more in the 3rd video. So wanted to alert you to that. So if you're not opted in for that, please do. Just head over to the web page, click on either the training at the training page or the hello bar at the top of the home page. And that'll get you in. Just your email is all we need, and you're opted in for the series, and you can look at both videos that are out there, video 1 and video 2. All right, this has been Joe from Beyond the Chart. We'll be back on Wednesday night. Everyone have a great Tuesday, Wednesday. And remember, the FOMC meeting's on. Talk to you soon.